All right, ladies and gentlemen, I have your recap for today. There is a lot that happened, especially in relation to the other videos we've been posting. It's setting us up for interesting tomorrow. We have the jobs report coming out, the non-farm payroll. So we're going to see how tomorrow plays out. It's either going to be a boring day or another exciting day. Again, I've been referring to what the options market has been showing, or again, now setting up into next week. So I want to cover what happened today, recap it, explain to you why the market went up, what caused it to go down, some of the other news events. But now mainly, I'm posting the watch list tonight around 7 or 8 p.m. Pacific time. Make sure you watch that. I'm going to highlight a lot of the specific plays because a lot of what happened today, it wasn't as much broader market as it was specific companies, and we saw a lot of things. So watch out for that. Make sure you guys are subscribed, and the live streaming channel. Oh, you guys, shout out the chat, man. We killed it today. It was awesome. We are live streaming 30 minutes before open, Monday through Friday. It is in the chat pin there. It's in the description. Make sure you're there and subscribe if you're new and drop that thumbs up. It helps out with this video. So what do you guys think is the main important thing? I want you to comment below. I want you to really let me know so we could start sourcing some more info here. But so far today, the market was up on Trade Talks. It was literally the same type of headlines, but today was the most interesting of the last few days because now it got more stronger info on trade. It made the market go up, but it wasn't really a gap up. It was a slight open, and we finally had a run up that first 10, 15 minutes and then came down, but then it ultimately closed just above. NASDAQ got killed, and now I guess this is one of the things, like I'm saying, I'm going to identify these on the watch list tonight, but it's really understanding what moved the market today. And again, small caps and Boeing, those were the leaders. They held up surprisingly, but small caps is kind of showing you the effect that tech, it's really the NASDAQ part 2 is what small caps and the Russell are, if you even look at the holdings. But the NASDAQ got hit and ended up going red. It is those cloud stocks. So they got bad news related to, I believe, Amazon or Google, or I think Google not using them anymore. Even some of the Article 13, or they're changing pretty much internal data storage processes. So a lot of those companies got hit and they were down tremendously. You know, here's Workday. I don't want to trade that. Here's Workday, which is the other one. Data, Twilio, and there's a few more, but those are some big ones. But again, watch those. I'm going to put those on the watch list, but they had an effect. And until we get more information on how that plays out, oh, CRM, there you go. That was the other big one. Until we get more information on how those play out, that's going to be something interesting. But now as far as the plus side, FedEx, ended up higher. That's going to be on the watch list. But transports, they dropped with what the market did today, but then they shot up, then they kept outpacing. They held really at all times, and even then you see the market went up, they held because they ended up going higher. But watching transports and how those are going to play out, I think that's going to be crucial to the stock market both today and tomorrow, the end of this week, and then also coming into next week. But then also now oil. Oil had epic reports. We saw the oil stocks move yesterday. I brought that up in the recap, and I said watch out for that and something related to that. But now we saw oil make a big move. I think oil was just all over the place. Here are the oil futures. So it actually did make a bigger drop, and we saw the drop kind of happen at a similar time with the S&P, but the S&P rebounded. And now the next thing to note, we've been talking about it, is Brexit. Let me get it up. And again, watch bond rates too. The bond rates, they were down today, then they went up. It was all over the place. And again, watching TLT, paying attention to this week and next week. Again, this is why I'm recapping this stuff, so you guys could see on a day-to-day basis how things are moving, and especially in this case, the divergence. When you see a divergence, you guys should start paying attention to how many days after divergence do they start to converge or further diverge, because again, that's what you're noticing with TLT and rates. So if rates keep going lower, how many days did the stock market keep going higher? Because again, if the rates are lower, we're expecting it to correlate and they're going to converge. Pay attention to that. But that's how these are operating, is giving us some unique signals with the market. But watch how that plays out. Again, I'm going to bring up the VIX after this. So remind me, you guys can't remind me, we're not on chat. I keep thinking we're on chat. Shout out the chat. Let's go. But here's the pound, and the pound dropped. It dropped out of nowhere today. It's a crucial level at 130. No other deals, and that's the thing. Today was different than most of the days with the pound, because now we saw this big random wacky move on the pound, but no news, no voting, no commerce or whatever their chamber of whatever they were doing in parliament, none of that. But we still saw these actions. So watch that. It's very important. Then the other thing was Mexico. And now even at close too, the last 10 minutes of close, literally, we started getting headlines that Trump is setting up another meeting with Xi Jinping. And I thought that was interesting, despite the fact that the other meeting in Mar-a-Lago that was supposed to happen in March. You guys, does that sound familiar to anybody? Mar-a-Lago, March? Yeah. Remember, that was the other meeting. They canceled that. So now they're announcing another meeting that they already canceled in the past. So what's changing, you know? But again, there's a lot of positive talks that are feeding the market. And I think the market's pricing it in interestingly compared with everything else with earnings and just the overall weighting of how things are watching. But that's going to be important. But then Trump also today had a press conference. We had it live on stream. And again, on the live streaming channel, you guys, it's in the description, youtube.com/thestockmarket. You could watch every live stream. All 7 hours of the day is up there. So you guys could go through and watch that. You could even go look up what Trump said today. I encourage you to listen to that because usually these Trump speeches haven't been affecting the market lately. Even the trade, the trade phrases have been dampened to a degree. But watch what he says about, he said it today, they might close down the border again in San Diego. San Diego even sued Trump, but he's saying they might close it down to slow down some of the problems here. But then he brought up tariffs. He said if they don't do it, we're going to tariff their cars in Mexico. And he brought up some other points even with the other trade deal. But the important thing that I'm drawing out from this, again, relative to what the markets are reacting to, what we've been watching, is the trade deal with China, because he specifically mentioned how China is just sending vehicles to Mexico and importing them through Mexico to literally circumvent any of the tariffs. So the fact that got mentioned and the fact Mexico's coming into play as trade deal with China's developing further, all that is going to be important to watch. So that's pretty much happened. Boeing went up too. Boeing went up on news that the Ethiopian report pretty much found them at fault, but despite that, they went up. They even had some other, I saw this weird NASA news. No one's really talked about that, but apparently they're partnering up with NASA and FAA for some other stuff related to other planes and that. But the market went up on that, but realistically, until there's more bad news that is really, really bad, as long as it's absorbing the same news, Boeing's going to do its thing. But that Boeing's responsible, I think, for at least 50 or 60 points today on the Dow. So again, when you see Boeing up and holding up like that, pay attention to that. It's like that for a reason. So that was pretty much it, though. I'm trying to think what else coming into the week. I'm going to go over the watch list tonight, you guys, is going to be very intense, very deep. So make sure you guys are there for that. We're going to talk about those plays. But let me know if I missed anything. Comment it below. I am also going to post a third video today. I usually post 2, but I'm going to throw in another one for you guys about day trading. And if some of you guys have questions on that, if you do have any other questions you want me to make videos on, man, comment them below. I appreciate you guys. Thank you for sticking around. Get ready for stream tomorrow. I'm hyped. I'm super hyped. So let's get it going, guys. I love y'all. Peace out.